Day 12. The world's most important waterway is a death valley. That is not a headline. That is the exact phrase a United States official used to describe the Strait of Hormuz to CNN this morning. Death Valley. The 21-mile-wide channel through which 20% of the world's entire oil supply flows every single day. Right now, at this exact moment, effectively closed, mined, targeted, controlled by Iran. While Trump posted on Truth Social, "We win." Here is what happened in the last 24 hours. Iran secretly started laying mines in the strait. CNN confirmed it from 2 intelligence sources this morning. Trump posted he had no reports of mines. Then 13 minutes later posted he had already destroyed 10 mine-laying boats. Pentagon said 16. Trump said 10. 2 different numbers. Same war. Same morning. Senator Chris Murphy walked out of a 2-hour classified Pentagon briefing, went straight to the cameras, and said 3 words that should stop every American cold. They have no plan. And the U.S. Navy, the most powerful Navy on Earth, decommissioned every single minesweeper it had in the Persian Gulf in September, 5 months before this war started, sent them back to America for scrapping. No minesweepers, no plan. 16 boats destroyed. Iran still has 80% of its mine-laying fleet left. And Trump said, "We win." That is your next 24 hours. That is what Day 12 looks like. Stay with me, because what I'm about to show you, point by point, changes everything you thought you knew about who is actually winning this war. Before we start, please hit the subscribe button to be aware of all new updates, because this is a political uncovering, where I uncover everything for you. Point 1. The secret that CNN broke this morning. 2 people familiar with United States intelligence reporting told CNN, Iran has begun laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz. Not planning to. Not considering it. Begun. A few dozen mines already in the water. Quietly. Secretly. While Trump was at his golf club in Miami saying the war was very complete pretty much. While Hegseth was saying, most intense day yet. While Senator Murphy was sitting in a classified briefing being told, we have no plan. Iran was already in the water, already laying mines, in the most important 21 miles of ocean on Earth. Now here is the detail that makes this explosive. CNN also confirmed, Iran still has 80 to 90% of its small boats in mine layers. The United States destroyed 16 today. Iran has hundreds left. Enough to lay not just dozens of mines, but hundreds. A gauntlet. Explosive-laden boats, shore-based missile batteries. The full picture that United States officials described to CNN as a death valley for any ship attempting to pass. The strait is not just closed, the strait is being turned into a trap. While Trump said we have no reports of any mines, then 13 minutes later said we already destroyed 10 boats. Point 1. Iran was already in the water, and Washington found out from CNN, not from its own intelligence in time to stop it, from CNN. That is the first thing every American needs to know today. Hook on this, because the next point explains exactly why nobody stopped it, and it is worse than you think. Point 2. The minesweepers that were scrapped 5 months before the war, September 2025, 5 months before Operation Epic Fury began, 5 months before the first bomb fell on Tehran. The United States Navy decommissioned every single dedicated minesweeper it had stationed in the Persian Gulf. 4 ships. The USS Gladiator, the USS Sentry, the USS Devastator, the USS Pioneer. All 4, removed from service, loaded onto a heavy lift vessel, sent back to the United States for scrapping. At the time, the Navy said minesweeping duties would be handled by littoral combat ships instead. Ships designed for multiple missions. Not dedicated minesweepers. Multi-purpose ships with interchangeable mission packages. Those ships have never cleared mines in a real combat environment. Not once. Not in any conflict. Not anywhere. And as of today, Day 12 of the most dangerous mining threat in the Persian Gulf since the 1980s tanker war, there is not a single dedicated minesweeper in the region. Iran has 2,000 to 6,000 naval mines in its arsenal, confirmed by CBS News, produced by Iran itself, supplemented by Chinese and Russian designs, already being laid in the strait, already in the water, with 80% of the laying fleet still untouched. And America's answer, littoral combat ships. that have never cleared mines in combat, in a channel that United States officials are calling a death valley. The Navy decommissioned the minesweepers in September. This war started in February, 5 months later. The question that Senator Murphy and every American needs answered is this: who made that decision in September? Who looked at the intelligence about Iran's mining capability and said, "We do not need dedicated minesweepers in the Persian Gulf anymore"? Who signed that order 5 months before a war that has now turned the strait into a death valley? That question has no public answer today, but it will, because the strait is closed, the mines are in the water, and the minesweepers are being scrapped in American shipyards. Hook, because point 3 is the moment that defines this entire war. The moment a United States senator walked out of a classified briefing and said the 3 words that change everything. Point 3. Senator Murphy. 2 hours, 3 words. Tuesday afternoon, Washington, D.C. Senator Chris Murphy of Connecticut walked into a classified Pentagon briefing, sat for 2 hours, heard everything the Pentagon had to say about the Strait of Hormuz, about the mines, about the plan to reopen it, about how America intended to restore the flow of 20% of the world's oil supply through a 21-mile channel that Iran controls with missiles, drones, explosive boats, and mines. 2 hours. Murphy walked out, went straight to the cameras, and said, "They had no plan." His exact words. Published immediately. Confirmed. No spin, no interpretation. The exact words of a United States senator who just heard the Pentagon's entire classified briefing on the Strait of Hormuz. They had no plan. He said, "I cannot go into more detail about how Iran gums up the strait, but suffice it to say right now, they do not know how to get it safely back open," which is unforgivable, because this part of the disaster was 100% foreseeable. 100% foreseeable. The senator's words, not mine. The Strait of Hormuz crisis was 100% foreseeable. The mining threat was 100% foreseeable. The need for minesweepers was 100% foreseeable. The closure that has now stranded 15 million barrels per day of crude production, confirmed by CNN this morning, was 100% foreseeable, and they have no plan. Now here is the moment that every American watching needs to understand, because this is where the no plan meets your life directly. 15 million barrels per day stranded. Iraq has no alternative shipping route. Kuwait has no alternative shipping route. Every barrel of oil that was flowing through the strait before February 28th is not flowing now, and will not flow until the mines are cleared, by ships that were scrapped in September, using a plan that Senator Murphy says does not exist. Hook. Because point 4 is Trump's response to the senator's words, and it is the most revealing thing any American president has said in this entire war. Point 4. Trump said, "More fun to sink ships." Tuesday morning, before Senator Murphy's briefing, before CNN confirmed the mines, before CENTCOM released the video of 16 boats being destroyed. Trump was asked about the Strait of Hormuz, about the plan to reopen it, about the no escorts yet confirmation from Caroline Leavitt, and Trump said, "It is more fun to sink the Iranian ships. More fun to sink ships in the most strategically critical waterway on Earth, while 15 million barrels per day are stranded, while Indonesia has fuel reserves for weeks, not months, while Japan is on emergency energy footing, while every G7 finance minister is on a video call today calculating the damage, while Senator Murphy is sitting in a classified briefing hearing, there is no plan. More fun to sink ships." Then Trump posted, "We have no reports of mines in the strait." Then 13 minutes later posted, "I am pleased to report we have destroyed 10 mine-laying boats." Pleased. 2 different numbers in 2 posts, 13 minutes apart. Trump said 10. CENTCOM said 16. His own military gave a different number than his own Truth Social post. About the same operation, on the same morning. One man said 10. His own command said 16. Iran said any movement of the U.S. fleet will be stopped by our missiles and drones. And Senator Murphy said, "No plan." Hook. Because point 5 is the Iranian officer interview. The moment Iran spoke directly to the American people on American television, and said something that Washington still has no answer for. Point 5. The CNN interview. The Iranian officer. The 4 words. Tuesday morning. CNN. Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi sat across from an American anchor, on American television, in front of the American audience that Trump says this war is protecting. He said, "I do not believe negotiating with the United States would be on the table again." He said, "We have a very bitter experience of talking with Americans. We were in indirect nuclear talks last June. America attacked Iran. We resumed negotiations in February. America attacked Iran again. Twice. America started military operations while Iran was at the negotiating table. Twice. And now Trump says, we want them to remove the mines. Immediately. Iran's Revolutionary Guard responded the same hour. Any movement of the U.S. fleet and its allies will be stopped by our missiles and drones. 1 liter of oil will not leave the Middle East while American and Israeli strikes continue. Not 1 liter. Iran is not negotiating. Iran is not removing mines. Iran is not accepting a ceasefire. Iran watched what happened when it showed restraint. Twice. And made a decision. The same decision the Iranian foreign minister stated clearly on CNN to the American audience that Trump says this war is protecting. We will not accept ceasefire. We will determine when this ends. Not Trump. Not the Pentagon that has no plan. Not the Navy that scrapped its minesweepers in September. Iran will determine when. And Trump posted, "More fun to sink ships." Now here is where this goes. 3 scenarios. Clear, real. No sugarcoating. Scenario 1. The escort works. The littoral combat ships, the ones that replaced the minesweepers nobody thought to keep, managed to clear enough mines to allow escorted tanker passage. Oil begins flowing again at reduced volume. Prices fall from $87 back toward $70. Markets stabilize. Trump calls it the greatest naval operation in history. Senator Murphy's no plan becomes outdated overnight. And Iran, calculating that a partial reopening hurts its leverage more than it helps, allows the escort operation to proceed without direct attack. This scenario requires Iran to hold back, after 12 days of hitting everything within range, while saying not 1 liter of oil leaves while strikes continue. Scenario 2. The mines multiply. Iran's 80 to 90% remaining mine-laying fleet enters the strait before the littoral combat ships can establish safe passage. Hundreds of mines laid in the 21-mile channel. The Death Valley description becomes operational reality. No tanker moves, no escort is sufficient. The G7 Strategic Reserve release, 1 billion barrels confirmed available, buys weeks, not months. And the world's oil supply faces a disruption that Goldman Sachs said this week could push prices past $150. That is $6 gas at your pump. That is $7 gas by summer. That is the Federal Reserve unable to cut rates with inflation above 5%. That is your mortgage rate going up, not down. That is your grocery bill rising, not stabilizing. While Trump posts on Truth Social about sinking ships. Scenario 3. The strait becomes a battlefield. Iran attacks the escort operation directly. An American warship is hit. Not a drone hitting a base in Kuwait, an American warship, in the strait. The kind of attack that changes the political calculation in Washington overnight. The kind of attack that forces the decision that Senator Murphy's briefing said there is no plan for. The kind of attack that makes every other decision in this war look small. Ground troops. Or exit. Those are the only 2 options after an American warship goes down in the strait. And right now, America has no minesweepers, no plan, and a president who said, "More fun to sink ships." Here is your simple summary. Day 12. Iran secretly began laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz, confirmed by CNN from 2 intelligence sources. Trump posted he had no reports of mines. Then 13 minutes later posted he had destroyed 10 mine-laying boats. CENTCOM said 16. The Navy has no dedicated minesweepers in the Persian Gulf. They were scrapped in September. Senator Chris Murphy walked out of a 2-hour classified briefing and said 3 words. No plan. Iranian foreign minister said on CNN, "We will not negotiate again." Revolutionary Guard said not 1 liter of oil leaves while strikes continue. Iran still has 80% of its mine-laying fleet intact. 15 million barrels per day of crude stranded. Trump said, "More fun to sink ships." Senator Murphy said, 100% foreseeable. And America has no plan. One question. One only. The minesweepers were scrapped in September. The mining threat was 100% foreseeable, according to the senator who just left the classified briefing. Iran is in the water right now with 80% of its fleet still intact, and the Pentagon has no plan to reopen the strait safely. Who decided in September that America did not need minesweepers in the Persian Gulf? And did that person know this war was coming? Tell me exactly what you think. I read every single one. Subscribe now and hit the bell. The G7 video call is today. The littoral combat ships are moving toward the strait. Iran's Revolutionary Guard is watching every move. And somewhere in the Persian Gulf right now, in the 21-mile channel that carries 20% of the world's oil, there are mines in the water, laid in secret. While Trump said we have no reports, and cleared by ships that have never done it in combat, using a plan that does not exist. We track every development every single day. Share this with every American who fills a gas tank. Share it with every person who wants to understand not just what the boats hit, but what was already in the water before anyone noticed. The strait is a death valley. The minesweepers are gone. The plan does not exist. Do not look away.